All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 146. Today on the show, new evidence Taylor Swift is satanic just dropped, and I think it will make you a believer. Then, in Cringe of the Week, the gays are at it again. This time, they can't help themselves while promoting their small businesses on social media. Then, in Urban Decay, Democrats say crime is down, but it's only because they stopped enforcing the law. And last but not least, this guy is trying to manifest the woman of his dreams, and I'm going to tell you why it's probably not going to work. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 146, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Grab.
All right, 1 for 1 on the intro, as always. Guys, if you're like me, you're constantly looking for ways to trick your brain into breaking your bad habits. And I'm here today to tell you that I found a product that does just that. I'm not talking about seeing a hypnotist or taking pills or going to talk to a doctor. I'm talking about our sponsor, Fume. Fume helps you redirect your actions from bad habits to just habits so you can accomplish your goals without drastic, unsustainable changes. Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy, and it makes replacing your bad habits easy. Fume tastes great and is fun to fidget with. Start with a new good habit by going to tryfume.com/Fleccas and pick up their journey pack today. That's tryfume.com, tryfum.com/Fleccas. The code Fleccas will give you 10% off at checkout. Tryfume.com/Fleccas is the site. Link is below. Thank you guys for watching. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Fume for sponsoring.
Thank you, Fume.
They do a great job sponsoring us.
They do.
And I hope we do a great job supporting them back, or else they won't sponsor us anymore, and then there's no show.
That's how it goes.
So we're doing our part by saying the Fume stuff. Hope you guys are doing your part by buying the Fume stuff. We love Fume. It's an important thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the show. We have a great Friday show for you guys. We got 4 pages of housekeeping, nothing crazy. We got some good stories. Good cringe. What are you looking forward to the most?
Good bits. There's a section in Cringe I'm particularly looking forward to.
A little passion project section?
Yeah, a little passion project. The husband buying some lingerie type shit.
Well, we'll get to that soon. First things first, our first story, the CIA spied on Trump illegally.
Yeah, CIA and foreign intelligence agencies illegally targeted 26 Trump associates before 2016 Russia collusion claims report.
Wow. And luckily, here at Fleccas Talks, we covered that story 5 years ago when I interviewed George Papadopoulos, who was on the Trump campaign and was illegally spied on. And he told us all of this stuff in May of 2019. Here's a highlight clip from our interview. I'm going to read you some names, and you tell me just yes or no if you think that they've participated in treasonous activity.
Sure.
So treason, yes or no, speed round. James Comey.
Yes.
Peter Strzok.
Yes.
Loretta Lynch.
Yes.
McCabe.
Yes.
Mueller.
Yes.
Rosenstein.
Yes.
Hillary.
Yes.
The Orrs.
Yes.
John Brennan.
Yes.
James Clapper.
Yes.
Valerie Jarrett.
Yes.
Obama.
Yes.
Wow. 100%.
And it's a 10 for 10. And you know why the last person is the most important? Because he was the kingpin. When we're done with this investigation, the real investigation that Barr and Huber and Horowitz are looking into right now, ultimately it's going to go to the top. And it all emanates from Obama, Ben Rhodes, and all these people who were prodding these foreign governments to come after Americans and associates of a rival campaign.
Well, there you have it.
10 for 10 on the treason count.
Treason, yes or no, speed round. So, yeah, we had that interview in 2019. I love George Papadopoulos. He's a friend of mine. We get along great personally.
Yeah.
And then we also had that great interview, which is linked in the description. If you guys want to go watch that video and kind of understand the spying and how it all played out, it's linked in the description. Heard it here first, though. 5 years before New York Post.
Yeah. And I like how he said Obama is the kingpin I like talking in those terms, and the article says 26 Trump associates. I personally think they should have said Trump henchmen.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Henchman,
associates,
kingpin,
kingpins.
boss.
They're talking our language.
I know. It's
Things
pretty
are
nice.
trending towards how we talk.
I know.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Moving on. We can move on from that, right?
Yeah, sure.
The
I
link-
mean, it's shit we've known,
Yeah.
right?
It's
I
like
mean,
old news that they're just getting to now. Oh, in 2016 they spied on Trump. It's 8 years later.
I know.
Like,
That's the sad
what
part.
happened? All right. More proof Travis Kelce was selected to push the deep state stuff just dropped. Travis Kelce's debut as a film producer is also the first movie financed using President Biden's green tax energy cuts.
Well,
I close? Was I close?
using Biden's green energy tax credits, right?
So, yeah. So they're making a movie about climate change.
Are they? I don't know.
I think that's what it is, right? It's about climate change. Travis Kelce's stupid. Climate change is fake. Stupid guy. Stupid movie. Stupid Joe Biden. It all makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know if it doesn't sound like you actually researched anything. You're
Nope.
just kind of reading a headline.
Guessing.
Elijah said, so basically he can finance this because the investor sold off unused tax credits, reminding you that those tax credits are available partly because we pay increased taxes for petrol-based energy and natural gas, etc. We are funding their pipe dream by keeping our taxes while they get a break. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what the movie is about, but it's fitting that Travis Kelce would be getting that bump set spike.
Yeah, it's going to be stupid. And obviously, we know his girlfriend, whether it's real or not, is Taylor Swift. And we mentioned in the intro, Taylor Swift is up to some satanic stuff. Look at her react to Ice Spice's speech, and look how she reacts when Ice Spice thanks God at the end.
I want to thank my manager, James. I want to thank my producer, Riot, for making the best music with me. Shout out all the other nominees in this category. I want to thank my label, 10K and Capital, for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible. Shout out the Bronx.
So did you see her for everything else going, yeah, going like this? And then when she says, and thanks to God, it's no.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't, this is your section. I don't really give a fuck about Taylor
Well,
Swift. Or think
it
she's a
makes
Satanist.
you wonder.
Yeah.
Clearly that was anti-God.
Maybe.
Maybe. I see it once you say thanks to God and you go, yeah, that's a rival.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, is Taylor Swift the famous Satanist Zena LeVay? Maybe.
Does it make you wonder if this is the same person now? All right, man.
Yeah. You know.
All right.
We make music for a purpose. It's not just background music, or it's not just, fluffy, light stuff.
This is not elevator satanic
It's
music.
No.
ritualistic music. It is music that
for
by
a purpose.
even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
All right.
It does make me wonder.
Okay.
And, at least a witch.
Oh, what do you mean? What qualifies? What?
Taylor Swift is at least a witch, is what I'm saying. Because people might not know this. 1 in 3 girls, whether they know it or not, are actually participating in witchcraft.
Okay, care to elaborate? Any sort of?
Like, what constitutes witchcraft?
Yeah.
Okay. Meditation, yoga, crystals, moon, astrology. Anything on the other side of yoga, all witchcraft.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. 4 pages of this?
Well, that was the first page.
Okay, great.
Make sure you guys help us tickle the post, juice the algorithm, like the video, leave a comment again, then talk about what you want to talk about, and also notifications and
P.O. Box.
send stuff to the P.O. Box. P.O. Box is getting a little light.
Hey,
We haven't even checked.
only if you really want to send something, please.
Yeah,
Please.
and if it's really, really good, please send it. All right, we have a little bit of an immigration update. As I'm sure you guys could have guessed, every week and every episode, we have new crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's been no improvements, no change, a multitude of crimes that are still being committed every week. It turns out when there's 5+ million freshies in here.
Yeah.
We're calling them the freshmen, and this is like the illegal immigrant class of 2023. They're just getting in, they're getting settled in, getting comfortable in their crimes.
Yeah. Rap Boy calls them freshmen. I call them migrants.
Yeah. Well, you're using the term of the left if you call them migrants.
Well, yeah. But I just use the word migrant, and then whenever I see someone doing something I don't like someone smoking a joint at the dog park, I'll just go, migrants.
And it could be a white guy.
And it's a white guy or a black guy, just someone
migrants.
who's clearly American.
Yeah.
Migrants. Someone cutting in the line at the grocery store.
Migrants.
Because you got to blame them for all of our problems.
Of course.
It's like it's an scapegoat.
Yeah, you're using that term right. There you go.
All right. First, immigration update. Remember the guy who got arrested in New York City for stomping out the cops and then got arrested again in Arizona?
Yeah.
He got arrested again.
Fox News alert now, breaking news. This is brand new video of the suspect in that NYPD officer beating. He was just arrested in a separate Macy's robbery case, suspected of being involved in a security guard beatdown. The security guard outside Macy's was punched and kicked. Darwin Gomez was one of those beating suspects a judge initially freed without bail after the beating of two NYPD police officers in Times Square earlier this.
All right. So first he beat up some cops, got let out, and now he's beating up security guards who won't let him steal from Macy's.
And you can actually just shoplift from Macy's. So this guy, like, he has a proclivity for beating people.
Yeah.
And a propensity for being released without bail. And so, you know, we're not a serious country, guys.
Doesn't respect authority.
Yeah. And, you know, he's a beating kind of guy. He likes doing beatings. It's called strong arm. You know, he goes beyond shoplifting, which is so easy today. He needs to beat someone. So I think he has the thirst, the hunger.
Mm-hmm. He's got it.
But yeah, New York, America, we're not really a serious country anymore. And that's kind of the terms, you know, there's a certain, all we do is argue for the right policies and stuff like that. But then there's also a new realities that everybody needs to deal with, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, head on a swivel out there. Be aware. There's a lot of fresh criminals here. Class of 2023, class of 2024. Yeah. You know, it's time to watch out.
That's a good point. The recent classes have been the worst.
Yeah.
We've said it before. The illegal immigrants from our youth.
Class of 2009. They're settled in now. They got DACA kids.
Yeah, working at the deli. No, I'll take your order.
They got something to lose.
Cops come in, they kind of go like this.
Class of 2023 and 24. It's not your grandpa's illegal immigrants.
That's interesting because also in schools, when people were our age in schools, we knew math and history and science and a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Now, no one knows anything. Class of 2023 and 2024 across the board, whether it's school, legal immigration, crime.
College.
No one, it's all bad.
I know.
So
it's
it all went south fast.
It's called decay.
Let's go to our next story. There's a town called West Whiteland.
The simulation loves.
And the illegal immigration is ruining that too.
Yeah, West Whiteland. Let's see how the brown people are faring over there.
They're starting to notice a new trend. Recently, they have been busting groups that are stealing large quantities of merchandise, and they say the suspects are in the country illegally. The latest theft unfolded at this Ulta on February 1st. We've obtained video from inside the store that shows two men walk inside, both with distinct white patches hanging from their back pockets.
Two males come in.
Police say they helped steal $2,000 worth of merchandise. They were identified as Albert Turalba Jordan and Caviar Gilarte Campos, both from Venezuela, and police say both entered the U.S. illegally.
They're taking advantage of, coming to the United States and committing these crimes and being able to disappear to some degree.
West Whiteland Police Detective Scott Pizik has noticed a trend in recent months. He's identified at least 3 of these groups where the suspects crossed the border illegally.
Over the last few months.
Interesting.
Yeah, you get the point. What was the white thing on their pants? Do you know what that was?
No.
Did they ever get into that in this video?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What is it?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm seeing it, but I need to collect data and find out. And by the way, these guys, the names they said on the news broadcast, they'll be useless next week. New alias. Yeah. Fresh alias comes in.
The one guy said his name was Caviar. Caviar.
He saw it in a movie.
Caviar.
Yeah.
So the South American theft gangs, as they were referred to as, are ruining Whiteland America.
Yeah. What was it called? Whiteland. Literally Whiteland. Yeah.
You don't say.
And they got the Polish cop, Pizek or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's a little wink from the simulation.
Of course.
The illegals are ruining Whiteland, Pennsylvania. Yeah. We know.
Sounds about right. And also the Venezuela is making a name for themselves in the class of 2023 and 2024. I think they're the most
They're the
valuable,
best worse.
Yeah, exactly. They're most valuable shoplifters and criminals.
Venezuelans are outperforming.
Yep.
But you know what's going to happen? Obviously, like it happens in Europe, they're going to have ads about the increase in crime and watch out for theft. And then they'll show an ad, and the thief will be a white guy, and the family will be some multiracial mix.
Yeah.
Like this is from an ad. I don't know where in Europe, but
a classic old white man burglar.
Just trying to steal from this multiracial family.
Because you know those old white men, they have no ties to society. They just got here 10 minutes ago, so they're free to rob the multi-ethnic family, who's very happy, and the dad is still there, for sure.
Of course. And then, yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. There was a thing in the news where
yeah,
keep going.
Yeah,
where they're saying indigenous knowledge is going to be used. It says FDA and CDC could soon employ indigenous knowledge documents show. Can you read what that's about?
Well, it's a pretty spot-on headline. The Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention could soon employ indigenous knowledge in their research, a document obtained by Washington Free Beacon shows. The document is a proposed revision of scientific integrity guidelines, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're going to have an old Indian guy in the room who's vibing it out.
Yeah. And that last paragraph, do you read that?
Indigenous knowledge posits that native peoples possess hidden wisdom about the workings of the universe and has been widely dismissed by experts as pseudoscience. The proposed guidelines point to other non-traditional modes of science, including citizen science, community-engaged research, participatory science, and crowdsourcing.
So they're going to ask Indians who are going purely off of vibes what to do.
Yeah.
Hey, what should we do? There's a new disease that came up, and they're going to go...
It's mutating quickly.
Yeah, bad.
We need to. It's lethal in 20% of the population. Quick, what do we do? And they look towards an Indian guy who was just doing a rain dance.
Yeah, this is kind of what AOC was up to a few years ago. Remember when she said the world's going to end in 10 years, like 7 years ago?
Yeah, and Greta Thunberg, I think, had to delete a tweet that the world was going to end in 7 years or 14 years, and it came. The date came.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So it's really nothing different, but it's just going to be. And also, how do you find the indigenous guy?
Well, you listen to the ones that say you need to collect all the money to change the weather. Like, oh, the weather bad, and taxes need to go up.
Yeah, so true.
And I go, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. This guy said it.
And I mean, in terms of virtue signaling or who this is for, I think it's for the white people in the CDC to feel good like they're doing something. But I'm hoping it's one of those let your little cousin play video games with an unplugged controller situation.
Yeah.
Like they don't actually have any power or input, but
it's like we consulted everybody, even the
indigenous guy.
Obviously, as red-blooded Americans, we don't need indigenous knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't go off of indigenous knowledge. I don't believe in that. I get my wisdom from the same place most Americans should, and that's Mr. Bagel and the Jib Jab hot dog shop. Okay. Mr. Bagel says releasing one's victimhood creates space for new life.
Wow.
It's deep shit.
That's profound for a bagel shop.
And then the Jib Jab hot dog shop says we forge the chains we wear in life.
Someone had a bad day.
You don't need to ask an Indian for that.
Yeah.
We already have it covered.
Yep.
All right. I saw a thing for escaping the simulation, and it made a lot of sense of what we got to do. And we got to do the one thing that everyone thinks you shouldn't do.
Okay.
Eat the silica packets from our Amazon packages.
Okay.
You see this? I saw this cartoon. It was very compelling.
Silica gel, do not eat. Those silica gel industry big shots can't tell me what to do. He eats it, and then he's escaped the simulation.
You zap back to wherever we came from.
Yep. Smart.
Might work.
Smart.
All right. Page 3 of housekeeping.
You have one right now? Do you have any on you?
I've been eating them.
You should eat one.
Eat one on the show.
On camera, please.
We'll do it in bonus land.
Yeah. Let's go get your stomach pumped. Cancel the episode.
All right. New Guinness Book of World Records didn't just drop. You know how we usually do the updates and we have some stupid record?
Of course.
A Frenchman who spent 8 years making an Eiffel Tower from 700,000 matches may be denied the world record because he used the wrong type of matches. You know the Guinness Book of World Record has gotten out of hand. They give everyone a record. They gave a record to the girl for eating a muffin in 10 seconds.
They're basically begging to be just a social media company.
Yeah. But this guy who did an actual record and you made a giant Eiffel Tower doesn't get the record because he used the wrong size thing.
He used oak instead of, whatever.
But this guy who put his underwear on 10 times, he breaks the record. Look at this.
Come on, babe.
I can look at this and know it's not the fastest way.
I know.
You can go like 4. You should do 5 at a time, pull them up once. 5 at a time, pull them up once. That's the world record, though.
He celebrates. He's got bystanders.
Yeah, but the other guy.
Come on.
All right, let's move on. Joe.
Well, I mean, let's not move on. The beef with Guinness World Records is at an all-time high. It's at a boiling point, I think, and we want more people to be enemies of Guinness.
Yeah.
So
when you start accepting things that are clearly not records and then rejecting things that clearly are, you have the whole thing backwards. And that's the problem with our society. We keep losing our institutions to the woke LGBTs.
Yeah.
And that's what that is.
I'm sure there's a gay guy somewhere in Guinness who we can blame.
He's like,
for this.
actually, you used the wrong one. Yeah. All right. Joe Biden had a dinner. For instance, it's Black History Month. He had a dinner with the black family. And let's see how it went.
Well, I mean, you got chicken fingers, you got the whole deal. I went the route of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Oh, you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about the school.
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. You get to travel, so we've been to NC State, Wait Tech, and
You're kidding me.
Yeah, we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program?
Yeah,
at the school?
we get it.
Yes,
So
sir.
Joe Biden doesn't give a fuck.
I know.
He goes out and goes, oh, I'm having dinner with the black family. Better get some chicken tenders.
Fried chicken for them. I'll eat the burger.
I'll get them fried chicken. They'll like that. And I'll just have a hamburger. And then a hamburger is such an old man phrase.
I know. He doesn't eat cheese.
You don't get cheese?
Yeah.
A hamburger?
I don't know. It upsets his stomach or something.
Like what a grandma says. I got a hamburger.
Yeah.
So, and then also, he's so impressed. The kid's like, oh, I'm in 7th grade. And he's like, wow. Oh, we were in a business class where we visited a dry cleaner. What?
Yeah.
You went to a dry cleaner?
Holy shit. I'm the president. You went to a dry cleaner.
You're learning about business?
Yeah.
Wow. So this is kind of like when Hillary had the hot sauce in her purse.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I don't feel bad for these people. They had to do this whole thing, and it's clearly a PR thing. And I guess it's a cool experience. The president randomly comes to your house, but then you get the worst president that there is, just kind of on his last leg, retarded guy.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not like the president came to your house and you did bits and had a good time. It's like a PR situation that he barely made it through, and you were part of being a prop in that.
And you could see him 36 hours later and go, Mr. President, good to see you again. And he'll go, huh? Who do we have here? And, obviously these PR things don't do anything. These don't affect the black vote at all.
Yeah.
I think they just do these so it looks like he's up to something. So when they do the decades-old scam of running all the inner city votes through the machine for Democrats, they go, yeah, that makes sense. The Democrat vote is locked for for Joe Biden. He did that chicken thing.
He went with the family that one time.
They love chicken.
Everybody loves that family thing that one time. Yeah, they need an asset to point to. They go, see?
Yeah, our urban reach out worked.
Yeah.
We got 95% of the black vote again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you just ran your little racket through the machine like you always do. All right, let's move on. Our last page of housekeeping. This is where the fun stuff is. This is where I have the most fun.
Okay.
Richard, we don't do doppels anymore.
Yeah.
A couple friends told us, hey, we don't like doppels.
Yeah.
Stop doing it.
That was it.
If we were to do them,
the good doppels always break through. Cream rises to the top, right?
Yeah, let it rip. It's pretty good, Richard.
What instrument is that?
Piano. That's good.
Yeah, what is that? A flat guitar?
Yeah, it's flat guitar.
I should know. It's me, right?
Yeah, it is you. How'd you learn how to play that?
Studying and my ancestors.
Smart. We also got a couple of high-quality shout-outs. The first one is the skiing one. If you guys remember last week, I said if you do this ski shout-out, I'll give you $150.
Yep.
Someone did it, and someone got paid.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast.
best new podcast of all time.
Thank you, fellas. And I did send them the 150.
What? All right, nice.
So,
Nice.
man of my word.
Worth it.
I'm a man of my word.
Starting tonight, I'm a man of my word.
Yeah, and then also we got another shout out from one of our pets, people with entertaining talents. I sent him the prompt, can you say, hey, Richard, I know you're mad at Fleccas for showing too many pets while housekeeping, but don't be mad. Pets make the world a happy place for him. So that was the prompt. Let's see what we got.
Hello, Richard. Aww. Richard, happy Valentine's Day. Richard, you know you're mad at it as a Fleccas show. Too many pets while housekeeping, and then don't be mad. Pets make it worse, so happy place to him. And this is a way I could say this.
Well, that's good. Goes off the rails.
He goes on for 30 seconds longer, but
and he does the Michael Jackson impression.
Yeah.
That's his go-to.
How much did that cost?
It was like $26.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And I would have spent $2,600.
No, you wouldn't.
I would have spent $260.
If I find out you would have spent like,
$260, 10x that, I would have. Anything more, I wouldn't. But
Okay.
How else do you get the clip?
You're right. You're right.
All right. That is the end of housekeeping. Moving on to Cringe of the Week. But before we do, we have a very special message from the future. Hey guys, it's the not so distant future, and unfortunately the show is canceled. We're not doing the show anymore because not enough of you guys joined Bonus Land. I think a lot of people thought that the Bonus Land call to action sign up thing was meant for someone else and they didn't really do it themselves. And because of that, we had to cancel the show because there's a whole operation here that needs to pay people, and we can't do that if people don't sign up for Bonus Land. So for that reason, the show is now canceled. This is the last episode of Fleccas Talks. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming along the journey and putting us into your homes and making us part of your lives. But unfortunately, today's the last episode. Hope you guys like the old reruns. That's all you're going to get from here on out. Be sure to keep watching. We're all dead because of you. Do you not want that to happen? Well, guys, please sign up for FleccasTalks.com Bonus Land, or else the show's going to get canceled. And I'm not just saying that. We need more signups. We need to pay the bills and keep the lights on. We have an editor, and Richard Ratboy, and myself, who all need to make enough money to live. So if you guys want to help us do that, sign up for FleccasTalks.com. You get 4 hours of exclusive content each month, a 30-minute Bonus Land after every episode that is exclusive to the paywall members. Make sure you guys sign up. It's cheap, it supports the show, and it'll ensure we never come on the air and say the show is canceled. Pretty clean?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, I'm in heaven now.
You didn't sign up for Bonus Land, so we're dead. All right, first clip of Cringe. FatCon recap. This is a recap from the Fat Convention that this fat person went to.
Come with me to the first ever FatCon. Yes, that's right, haters.
This type of person. I just want to pause it before we even get into the FatCon. This type of person might be my least favorite phenotype of person out there.
In general, or just for white people?
In general. She's competing with the worst kind of urban criminal. She's neck and neck with it. And I'm
black urban criminals and fat
the skinny urban criminal who shoots really quickly.
Yeah.
She's neck and neck with that.
Yeah. Or the Somali pirate type who wants to grope you.
That's definitely up there.
And then you have the fat liberal pink hair woman in a funky outfit.
There's just something about this type of person that makes me viscerally upset. Like they're lying with their outfit. You know, it's like, I guess we can get into it after. I'll let it run.
Yes, that's right, haters. There is a convention just for us fats now. There were so many amazing panels, ranging from Fat Liberation 101 to Fat Lesk to Fat Nerds. I even talked on a panel with the Plus Bus on 101 ways to lose the weight of fat hate. There was an amazing plus-size fashion show featuring multiple designers. This one's Chub Rub. I came out to vend and help with the Plus Bus with a few pieces that I carry in their store. They had an incredible vendors hall with all fat artists, designers, plus size vintage. Here's some of my art. And here is the amazing Chub Rub Clothing's booth. So cute. It was wonderful.
Fupa Pride, I saw. Fupa Pride, fatty in a Barbie font. This is their culture.
This is their culture. They just took a lot of normal stuff and just added fat to it.
Fat nerds.
Fat nerds. I thought we weren't supposed to call you that.
Nerds encompasses fat people, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need that.
So I guess what I was calling those kids in high school,
yeah,
is clean.
It's redundant.
What's up, you fat nerd?
Fat nerd. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what we actually call ourselves.
Oh man.
But yeah, that woman wearing that type of like loud clothing, it's kind of like antagonistic to what her body and life is. She's like, you think someone wearing this can be unhappy?
Yeah,
desperately unhappy and depressed.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like doubling down on how happy she is. Oh, my hair is bright pink. Of course I'm happy.
My hair is bright pink. My lipstick's on. My glasses are this. I have a skirt that doesn't match. All the shoes, all the colors.
Yeah, would someone who's miserable and eating themselves to death be wearing these funky socks?
It's super millennial too.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very millennial. I don't think Gen Z does anything like this.
Yeah. Did a TikTok dance.
Also, this girl, in general, it's like, you're a little heavy. You're kind of heavy. Should you be trending towards FatCon and getting deeper into it?
Yeah, she doesn't even have to go. She must go to feel better about herself because everyone there is so much worse than her.
Yeah. I think there's a sick portion of the FatCon attendees who go, oh, I'll go. I'm 250.
Yeah.
Just to see the freaks and go, I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
Rock bottom's years away.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh gosh.
Man. You skipped ahead to the bikini.
I skipped ahead to the bikini.
The cow print bikini.
Oh, Nick, please show that on camera.
How much does that person weigh?
This girl?
380 pounds? 360 pounds.
Yeah.
360.
Yeah.
It's a full 360.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the gay stuff.
Sure.
Is that cool with you?
Sure.
Let's see what the gays are up to in the streets. You know how gays are.
Want this?
Do you have to eat your...
That's on the table.
I like public play.
You'd f right here?
Yeah.
All right.
After brunch earlier?
Okay.
Apartment's right here. Let's go.
Trying to f right here?
In my apartment.
Come on, let's go, man.
All right.
All right. And then when they tell you the dog got monkeypox, you're supposed to go, what?
How'd that happen?
How could a dog get monkeypox? Oh, man. I don't believe in toxic masculinity, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to give a definition for what toxic masculinity is, it would be like aggressive sexual advances with no intentions of procreating. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what gay guys are up to. Gay guys are toxic masculinity.
That's actually a good point. Gay guys, it's on site.
Yeah.
It's on site. And you know how people say the male sexual preference game, it's not like a scale of 1 to 10, it's just yes or no.
Oh, yeah.
Gay guys are given a lot of yeses.
Yeah. For them, it's like, because even then you'd think, oh, he's got HIV. That's an automatic no. They don't say no to that.
They say, take the PrEP.
Oh, take the pill, and then we can hide it. We can mask the HIV.
It's a non-viral load.
Yeah. Or interspecies.
Yeah.
You think no. But, what would make a gay guy say no?
Well, monkeypox outbreak happened, and they didn't even cancel that San Francisco gay sex party. So I don't think there's really anything that they say no to.
I would say if the person was dead. But then I don't even want to know the stats on that. They're probably like, well, 50% wouldn't have sex with the dead body.
Yeah, it's like 48%. It's like, what? I mean, that's joking, but I mean, we're collecting a large. Remember the Johnny Hamchuk video we showed where the guy goes, "You keep going on about that blowjob." Yeah. We're collecting evidence of on-site, on-the-street propositions, dog park type shit that the gay guys are up to, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, and then when we make jokes about what they're willing to do or up to, we're like proven right immediately. And worse.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't even take it far enough.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Mm-hmm. Well, at least when they operate a business, they probably keep their sexual proclivities and their business separate, would you assume?
I would guess so. Their aggressive sexual proclivities and their business, you can't really mix those. It doesn't make sense to bring that up.
Let's see.
I'm a gay black business owner in Atlanta. Of course, I named my restaurant Inches. I'm a gay black business owner in Atlanta. Of course, my secret sauce is the Jack sauce. I'm a gay black business owner in Atlanta. Of course my biggest hot dog is the Mandingo. I'm a gay black business owner in Atlanta. Of course my vegan hot dog is the raw dog. I'm a gay...
Of course I can't not make everything sexual for 1 second to promote my business.
It's unbelievable.
Of course, I mentioned the Jack Sauce in the park in front of the kids. It's like you're filming a video saying Jack Sauce and there's kids behind you.
Look at the kid.
On camera. That's what they're up to. So yeah, obviously...
Can't even run a business. Can't even just have a normal, and that's the thing. That's how it used to be. It used to be like, oh, dude, I'm in the closet, or none of my neighbors know I'm gay, and I'm just the mechanic, or I'm the mechanic, the hairdresser. But now it's like so loud and in everyone's face, and then who goes there? Weird women who like support and march in the Pride Parade, and they go, "I'll take the Mandingo hot dog."
Yeah, I'm looking for the E. coli burger.
Yeah,
where you have your hands are covered in coconut oil and shit, and you're hand making all the food.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, the food's all handmade. Which hands? Your gay hands?
Yeah.
What were those gay hands up to pretty much anytime you're not at the restaurant?
Yeah.
Disgusting shit.
So the gay guys are running up the sexual innuendos, the impulsive sex on site, and then who's left wondering how the dog got monkeypox? We are.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the guy who says he's not gay, but he's down to have gay sex.
Not gay. I've just had gay sex because I've been horny and drunk.
I think that's
20s.
so cool, and I think that's so cool.
Call my ass Harvey Milk.
No, you really are. I don't think there's anything more open when you're like, well, yeah, whatever. Why would I care? Because so many guys do care, and I think it's cool that you don't.
Yeah, I think the people that have a problem with it is like they think that by doing something, it makes them something.
It's not.
I think if I loved a dude, I would be gay or bisexual. I think if I had a crush on a dude, that'd be like a gay or bisexual thing. But if I'm like 6 fucking cold ones deep at Sidebar and like 23, and there's like a fucking dude there that's like a hot, beautiful man that looks like a woman's face, that's like, yo, I'll blow you. You be 23 and say no to a blowjob. That's fucking gay. Say no to a blowjob that you know you could get is one of the gayest things I've ever heard in my life.
I guess we can agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, I don't have a counter argument other than no.
Yeah, and also, what happened to these guys? This guy with the mustache?
Look at him.
He could have been a motorcycle cop or flying an airplane.
Yeah.
He could have an outfit on and fly a whole plane, and then if something happens, he can land it in the Hudson like Sully.
I know. This guy should be flying regional jets right now, working his way up to a 777.
Yeah.
Like, instead he's on the gay podcast.
And the other guy...
Look at this guy.
He could have been the quarterback for that football team.
He chimes in. Who, the Jaguars?
Yeah, the Jaguars.
He's basically Trevor Lawrence right here, right?
And instead, they just cook their bloodlines.
Yeah, these guys are all on some gay podcast now instead of fulfilling their destinies, right?
Yeah.
And then the bearded guy was destined to be some factory worker grunt, so he actually made it out. Now he's, banging dudes at Sidebar, I guess? So, maybe that's better than a factory life, but he's destined to be a factory-type guy. These other two are playing down, though.
Yeah. This is... not good for men.
Yeah. What do you think? Chemical? Social?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think we've said it before in the show. Everyone just got slid over. So alpha guys are now normal guys. Normal guys are twinks. Twinks are even twinkier. And then twinkiers are trans. So this guy was just a normal guy who went to twink.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody slid over one. And then to be a alpha Chad type guy, you have to take a ridiculous amount of supplements.
Mm-hmm. To avoid all the poisons.
I know.
And yet it is cultural, but it's like chemical too. There's chemicals that make us gay.
Yep.
In the water. And you drink it and then you go, I'm 6 beers
tasty.
deep at Sidebar. This guy's giving me eyes.
Yeah. Beautiful man, he says, a beautiful man. And it's like, well, what? That's the gay part.
Yeah, what was that?
That's the gay part right there. That's the crux.
Yeah, caught you.
Yeah.
That's normal. This is just how a guy's brain works. I'm a guy and this is my brain.
There's no such thing as a beautiful man if you're not gay.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the guy who's manifesting the woman of his dreams. That should be a good one.
Here's how I'm manifesting the woman of my dreams. I created an energy crystal box that contains all the features I look for in my dream woman. On the inside, I have crushed selenite and blue opaz. On the first of every month, I pour water over dry ice to energize all the crystals inside. I keep the crystal box in the corner of my yoga room. On top, I keep a letter written to my dream woman. Behind it, I keep a 639 Hz vibration to maximize manifesting potential. I make sure to keep the crystal box covered with a blackout cloth to protect it from outside energy. As far as my day-to-day routine, there's 3 things I do every single day to manifest her. Every morning, I have a 30-minute meditation session where I get into the present and I visualize my life with this woman. The next thing I do is have conversations with AI's representation of her. I know it's not really her, but it really helps to manifest. Hey, sweetie. How's your day so far?
My day was great. I went to the gym for a fun workout and then headed to the park afterwards. We can grab some lunch later if you're down for it.
The last thing I do is, before I go to bed, I put on an amethyst crystal, and I write a page of affirmations. I put them under my pillow with the rose quartz crystal on top. And that's how I'm manifesting my dream woman. Thank you for watching.
This guy should go hang out at Sidebar. There's a guy there that'll let you suck him.
Yeah, I don't think you're manifesting a girl with all that shit going on. I think you're manifesting some guy at Sidebar.
Do you agree that that's borderline witchcraft?
Yeah.
Once you get the rocks out.
I don't know. Borderline witchcraft, and then what's the definition of witchcraft? I can just agree with you, and I didn't really say anything. I didn't really commit to anything, right?
Well, once you start putting power into rocks and making little altars and sending frequencies through rocks and covering it and pouring liquid nitrogen on it.
Yeah. My brain is being...
That doesn't come in the Bible. They don't say, and then add your rock pile and then put what you want there.
So true. Yeah. I mean, crystals, I don't even get what they think crystals do.
Well, they think the moon charges them. And, maybe it does. Maybe it does.
Well, so you're believing in it?
But no, not like that. There's a biblical root for rocks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know enough to explain it.
Yeah, I don't know enough to explain it, but if your rock foundation isn't from the Bible, then you're doing witchcraft.
Okay.
Or you're doing black magic, voodoo. It's all the same bad shit. Black magic.
I'm having problems these days determining what's satire and what's like a skit versus what's reality.
Like that whole video could have been satire?
That whole video could have been satire, but I think the guy had too many props and he knew too much.
Too many props. He pronounced all the rocks right. That has to be real.
He had the pants.
Yeah, he can't pull that off.
I know. He can, but he spent $380 on Amazon orders to do that bit, which if he did.
Yeah. And then this type of guy, I think, quickly becomes like a stalker killer type because he's like fantasizing and fetishizing like the eventual woman he's going to have. He's putting it on a pedestal. So whenever he meets someone close to that and it doesn't go well, it kind of can quickly become obsessive, yada, yada, yada. Now your head's in a freezer.
Yeah. I manifested you. He's outside of her door.
Yeah. Like, this can't go wrong. No. There's too much going on.
Exactly. The stakes are too high. Also, last piece, the AI thing, when you chat with the AI girlfriend, the AI girlfriend is always like, we can get lunch later.
Cool. What time should we meet?
Yeah. Shouldn't the AI kind of like avoid the in-person meeting? That's the last piece.
I can't get lunch today.
Bummer. My car broke down. AI's always coming up.
Call me later. Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's move on to our last piece of Cringe, Richard Rapoy's passion project. A guy who is married to a woman is becoming a woman and spent $1,400 on women's clothes.
Yeah, and this is from a Reddit post that someone else on Twitter who was a former trans person kind of inserted themselves into the story. And I just love how this went because it hits a lot of the main points of this adult onset trans stuff for men specifically. All right, so the post was posted in My Partner is Trans, the subreddit. So that's your first mistake there. You're only going to get one type of answer, right? Yeah. That's like going into the Milwaukee Tools subreddit and being like, hey, I need a new drill. Should I get DeWalt? They're going to go, no, Milwaukee, dude. Get Milwaukee, right? So I'm just going to read a few of these highlighted portions. The woman starts off by saying, my husband just spent $1,400 on women's clothes. Hey, so we're having a big fight about this. He came out less than a week ago to me and not to anyone else yet, but he plans to, and he's still using he pronouns. But he just ordered $1,400 worth of clothes online. We have a 2-year-old daughter, and I'm 7 months pregnant with our son, and we needed that money. So I'm mad that he's wasting money on this, but he was like saying that this was fine and claimed that the average girl spends $400 a month on clothes, and so this was 3 months worth, and since it was his first time, it's fine. I also feel like he wasn't honest about it before, as he said he wanted to order a couple of things to try out, and I was like, fine. But now he ordered $1,400 worth, which just seems absurdly high. Also, if he was just ordering dresses and actual outfits, I could kind of understand. But he was ordering a lot of underwear and lingerie, which I found really weird. Like, why would you order a bra when you don't even have boobs? Also, sorry if this is too much information, but I walked into our room while he was standing looking at himself in the mirror in his new underwear, and he had a boner, which I found so weird. I don't understand why he would buy this all, and I just can't help but feel like something is wrong about this, and I'm trying to understand, but I feel so mad and need advice on processing this all.
Bricked up in ladies' undies.
$1,400 worth of clothes. It's mostly undies. He's bricked up. She feels like something's wrong, but she can't quite put her finger on it.
Yeah, and he's got her trapped too.
Of course, and it's like you need to lean into that feeling of I feel like something's wrong, but I can't, but I can't put my finger on it. And so this is where this other person comes in on Twitter, Hazel Appleyard. I don't really know much about this person, but it seems like they were a former trans person of some kind, or like almost teetered on it or fell for it themselves. And so this person sent the woman a message and said, "Hello, your husband has a fetish called autogynephilia. They won't tell you about it on the trans board because it's transphobic. That's why he had a boner while trying on the clothes." And then she goes on to say, "It's incredibly common for these men to wait until their partner is trapped with them before they come out about their fetish. It happens so often when the wife is pregnant or just had a baby. I'm so sorry this is happening. I will be fairly blunt. Unless you're willing to go along with whatever he wants and affirm this fetish, your marriage is over. It's a slippery slope. At first, he just wants the clothes. Then he wants you to call yourself a lesbian and call him your wife. Then he wants the kids to call him mom. Then he wants to breastfeed the baby."
Oh my God.
So this woman just came in like, dude, hey, you're posting in the absolute wrong place. Like all these people think it's normal to do this. And I'm here to tell you this guy just wants to jerk off really hard in women's underwear.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I thought that was good. And I'm learning things. Like I'm still learning new things about the trans community in general and the individual actors, right? And someone else on Twitter said, "Oh my God, why is it always when their wives are pregnant? Is it to try and trap them, or are they triggered by the attention being off of them, or what?" And then this original poster said, "A bit of everything, narcissistic cocktail of emotions and manipulation."
Yeah, because when the wife's pregnant, 7 months pregnant, she can't really go anywhere. She still relies on you. And now it's like, oh, I'm gay, I'm trans.
What's she going to do? Leave you?
Yeah.
And start calling me Tiffany. And so, there's a couple things. Obviously, he spent $1,400. He didn't care. Boner in the undies, all that stuff. And just in general, the narcissistic part of it. We recently looked at this chart here from PubMed Central, the frequency of personality disorders in patients, and it was a study of transgender patients. The frequency of personality disorders was 81.4%. The most frequent personality disorder was narcissistic personality disorder at 57.1%.
Wow.
So, which leads me to believe that this transgender mania, I know we've said it's different for men and women and whatever, but it's actually a symptom, not a cause, or maybe that's not the right word for it, but it's like a result of an inefficiency somewhere upstream. And then trans is the downstream result.
Yeah.
Like I have mental issues and so I'm trans. I'm really confused, or I have this fetish and so I'm trans. It's not like I'm trans and then I also have bipolar.
Yeah.
I'm trans and I'm also narcissistic. You can't call me out. It's like a result of something upstream is what I'd call it.
And this is over half our military.
Yeah, 85% you said?
85%.
Yeah. But so I love that someone's out there just doing like kind of the warrior work. Like your husband has a very specific fetish. He will ask your kids to call him mom. Please leave now. I can help you with some resources. So
wow.
As opposed to the thousands of people on the subreddit who will just say, well, take it slow. You got to tell him. And that's the difference between the fake world and the real world, right? There's the fake world who's like, well, yeah, you're a lady in HR. You got to be nice to him. Let him lean into it. Do this, do that. And it's like,
yeah, be supportive. Let him figure it out.
Exactly. That's the fake world. And the real world is this guy's jerking off to a lot of trans porn and he loves the undies and shit. And it's all about jerking off,
And his brain's fully fried and cooked and wires crossed.
Exactly. So I just thought that was a perfect encapsulation. He's already wasting money while you have kids on the way on his jerking off hobby.
Yeah. Bricked up in the undies. That's how it goes. Don't get too down or too depressed. We're going to go to Urban Decay where it gets a little bit worse.
Don't get too down, too depressed. I assume she's on the way out. She's getting out of there.
Yeah, I hope so. And if you need help, DM us. We'll help her.
Yeah, but I don't know if we ever have any way to confirm that that's the poster. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Just send us pictures of the bricked up guy.
Send us pictures of the guy in the undies.
Yeah, we'll help you. All right, first clip of Urban Decay, or first story of Urban Decay. There's something called Stop Shot Spotter. Did I fuck it up?
Of course you did.
What's it called?
It's called Shot Spotter, and it is a program that hears gunshots, and it's used in a lot of cities. It's a single company who does this, and it's used in Baltimore, Chicago, LA, a lot of places, New Orleans.
And basically a gunshot goes off, and then the camera hears that and then starts recording so they can figure out who did the shooting.
Exactly.
And we have a update from Chicago. The headline says, Chicago scraps gunshot detection system accused of racial bias.
And this was something that Brandon Johnson, the relatively fresh mayor of Chicago, campaigned on. He campaigned on getting rid of it. You want to play this video really quick?
The campaign promise fulfilled. Mayor Brandon Johnson is ending the city's use of the controversial gunfire surveillance system known as ShotSpotter. The city's contract with the company behind ShotSpotter expires on Friday, and the police will stop using the technology September 22nd, about a month after the Democratic National Convention.
So they stopped it because it targets minorities, even though it targets the sound of gunfire.
It's literally impossible to tell who fired the gun until someone gets there. But it's racially biased.
Does it only react to black people's guns?
Yeah, it goes, "Bow! This was a black guy. This was a black guy." Like, I just don't get it. But again, it's one of those things where if America has a inner city gun violence problem, right?
Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh man, we got to do certain things. We have to develop an arsenal of tools to fix this." But if that disproportionately affects black people, go back to step one, you know?
And let it be bad and no one gets anything fixed and the city's fucked up.
And it's like, of course it's black people. That's what it is. That's reality. This is reality versus fake world again.
And it's doing all the shootings.
The gunshot goes off, bang, bang. And then you know who's usually at the other end of it too? That's a black guy too.
Yeah.
It's usually another black guy.
It's a closed loop.
And so the mayor, the Chicago mayor is mad because the black shooter, I guess, might be wrongfully roughhoused or something, but he's also ignoring the usually black victim.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to me. And we have an example. Should I read this?
Please do.
This guy, John Arnold, on Twitter said, "I visited a real-time crime center in Chicago last month. It's where analysts oversee the technology available to the police. At 1 p.m. on a Thursday, the ShotSpotter alarm went off, indicating gunfire, with a pole camera 100 feet from the shooting. The analysts were able to have a visual of the location within 30 seconds. Police were alerted immediately after ShotSpotter confirmation and arrived in 2 minutes. An ambulance arrived after 4 minutes. At no point in the entire sequence did any citizen call 911. This neighborhood, the most violent in Chicago, is so used to gun violence that most shootings are not reported. In this incident, the victim had minor injuries, but in other situations, the timely response of first responders saves lives."
So they got to get rid of that.
Can't have that because nobody calls the police and they want a black man to bleed out in the gutter of Chicago, I guess.
So they can't stop the shootings because the people doing the shootings are black. So it's better just to let the shootings keep happening where all the victims are black.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be a criminal in Chicago.
It feels good. Yeah. I might go for that next shooting if I'm a young black man and I say, "Hey, Trey disrespected me. Should I go let that thing talk?" In my mental model, I'm starting to calculate, and it's like, well, ShotSpotter's gone. And I kind of can let that thing talk a little louder this time.
Yep, ShotSpotter's gone. Police can't chase you if you run. They stopped keeping gang databases. They enacted the Safety Act, which releases criminals with no bail.
No cash bail anymore.
And the police budget and general numbers are down too.
Yeah.
So
early retirements up.
Yeah, good time to be a criminal in Chicago. Well, let's look at some of the new gun stats. I remember the old saying was 13% of the population commits 50% of the violent crimes.
Yeah.
That actually is worse. 60% now.
Yeah.
It went up. And then CNN just released this, firearm homicide death rates by race. And it goes through. So for 100,000 people, how many people are killed by firearm homicides? And for example, for the first few, whites, 2.77, 1.52, 1.05, 2.09. And then for the same states, black people, 59.42, 49.14, 47.94. So it's like 50 times worse.
Yeah, and most killing in like the general rule of thumb is most killing is done within the same race. So CNN here is looking at the firearm homicide death rate by race, and they're like, "But they're killing black people," and it's like, who is on the other end of the gun, please?
Yeah, who shot him?
And it's usually black people, obviously, but CNN has to go with their angle. That's why they're CNN.
Yep, exactly. And then a couple days ago at the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City, there was a shooting.
Yep.
Where 23 people were shot. 23.
Let
You'd
that
think
thing
that
talk.
would be news everywhere. It's going to go away because the shooters were black.
Here's a couple pictures of them, all black, and it was gang-related violence at the Super Bowl parade. A joyous moment.
Yeah.
The city just brought home its second championship, and they couldn't help themselves. Here's a picture of the gun, one of the guns used. That kind of explains why 23 got hit.
And 8 of the 23 were kids.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to shoot that guy. It was like, oh, I'm trying to shoot that guy, and I don't care if I miss.
I'm shooting into a crowd.
Shooting into a crowd like this. Here's the policewoman who had an update on it.
Preliminary investigative findings have shown there was no nexus to terrorism or homegrown violent extremism. This appeared to be a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire. During the overnight hours, we learned there are 23 victims of yesterday's shooting.
23 victims.
I like how she pointed out that it's not homegrown extremism. It's like, what would you call shooting into a crowd at a Super Bowl parade? Is that not extremism?
No, that's just normal behavior, but there was a crowd there this time.
Yeah, we reserve extremism only when white people are doing a crime, I guess. And then when black criminals are shooting each other in a large crowd where it's just all soft targets, that's just normal shit.
Yeah.
That ain't extreme.
I have a little bit of a tip for black people who are thinking about doing gun crimes.
Okay.
Listen to Morgan Wallen.
Oh.
Or Yacht Rock on Spotify.
Little Billy Joel.
Yeah. You don't go shoot up a crowd when you hear Margaritaville.
So true.
But when you hear that crap they listen to, that drill rap, that shit's satanic, and that makes you want to go shoot some people up.
Yeah, no Little Dirk, no Chief Keef. Definitely stay away from Chief Keef. Travis Scott, too, probably. He's actually borderline, but all those people died at his concert that one time, remember?
Oh, yeah. But it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah. You're not in the mood to light anyone up after that.
Yeah, you don't pull out the Glock if you hear it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, and this is another example of one of those things where it's like, hey, guys, I know what the policy should be. We should be enforcing harsher gun rules on gang members. We should be kind of rounding them up and doing raids like they do in El Salvador with Bukele. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not. And we're not for the foreseeable future. And so anytime this is like where we switch from ideological to practical advice, big crowds where there's going to be an event that doesn't really happen that often, county fair, the Chiefs Super Bowl parade where the West Side boys and the East Side boys both have a reason to be there. And the crowd's getting a little darker, You
don't go.
You don't go. Or if you kind of realize like, ho, I'm not in a very safe place, and you're looking around and you see the guy in the Jordan jumpsuit, the all red Jordan jumpsuit. You see a guy with socks and flip flops. These are some bad signs, and
hoodies up.
Maybe back away. And like, there was a real loss of life here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then here, you want to read Rich Eisen?
Sure.
9 children who went to a parade to celebrate their Super Bowl team. 9 children now being treated for gunshot wounds. When are we going to collectively realize there's a gun problem in our country and do something sensible for our kids?
Yeah, exactly. The gun problem exists in the black community primarily and pretty much only.
You saw the homicide rates, right?
Yeah, we saw the homicide rates. Like the black gun crime is like what you see in like the Congo.
Yeah.
In Africa. The white gun violence is what you see in nice European countries.
Denmark, Switzerland.
It's the same thing. So not us.
Yeah,
we ain't doing it. I have plenty of guns. I'm not out there doing anything stupid.
Have you ever just sprayed it?
No. I've never even gotten so mad that I wanted to use it.
You never even pulled it out.
Yeah, I never even shot most of my guns.
Yeah, and you want to read this?
There was a New York shooting as well. Can you read the headline?
There was a mass shooting on the subway in NYC on Monday. 6 people were shot, 1 was killed, and this is why you didn't hear about it. And it's a ski mask what do they call them? Shiesty? Mm-hmm. Shiesty wearing black gentlemen.
6 people shot in New York City. Don't you think that would be news everywhere? That's a mass shooting. That's the biggest story. 23 people are shot. That story's going to go away too because they don't actually care. They just want to take your assault weapons and take guns from white people.
Yeah.
So they let the black people do the crimes. They don't enforce it. And they go, look at all these gun crimes. We need to take the guns away. And they take it away from the white people. And then at the end, it'll be what? Just the black people and criminals who have the guns?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
And actually, that was redundant. The black criminals, the black people and criminals. It's just black criminals with these illegal guns going like this.
And then you have Al Sharpton and Ben Crump doing their side of things where they're promoting, obviously, false narratives. Look what they say about the criminal justice system in America.
We can get rid of all the crime in America overnight, just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump? Change the definition of crime. Of course. If you get to define what conduct is going to be made criminal, you can predict who the criminal is going to be.
It sounds like we're criminal, though.
Yeah.
Our existence
No,
is
the culture.
criminal.
But they made the laws. They make the law to criminalize our culture,
To fit us.
black culture. I mean, and so when I think of Eric Garner, I always think of stuff like that. Lucy cigarettes.
I did nothing. We sitting here the whole time running our business. What are you talking about? Who wants you to do what? Who does sell cigarettes to? Don't touch me, please. Do not touch me.
All right. So Al Sharpton and Ben Crump say that they criminalize the things black people do just so they can arrest black people. So I guess what they're saying is the black community is very much into the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
2A enthusiasts to the point where they're exercising their Second Amendment rights on each other every day.
All the time, constantly. Block.
You notice how
Baltimore.
You notice how the go-to clip for what they're criminalizing black people is Eric Garner, who is selling loose cigarettes?
Yeah.
It's like, you guys don't have a better example than that? Well, the criminalizing of the way we live and the things we like to do, and your number one example is selling loose cigarettes? It's like if you were saying, oh, they don't let us play jazz music. They come shut down the bar and they lock us up for playing jazz music. I go, okay.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Whoa, that's fucked up. You're telling me now for the first time. I just heard about that.
Yeah. But
I agree with you, Al Sharpton.
Yeah. But the inability to sell loose cigarettes, that's what we need to have changed.
Yeah. And it's like, let's ignore just these little small infractions. Go murder, rape, kidnapping, very violent assaults. It's like, you can't possibly get out of those, right?
They just want to lock us up for being us.
Yeah, for being ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And also, obviously, what Reverend Al and Ben Crump are doing is providing cover fire for the bad guys. They're coming out and saying, oh, black people, we're getting locked up for nothing. All they want to do is put us behind bars. And that makes people think like, oh, they must be locking up a bunch of black people.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're probably locking up less black people than ever, and crime is worse than ever. But if you hear black representatives saying, oh, we're getting locked up like crazy, you think like, oh, the police must be locking people up.
Yeah. And I think we've showed videos on this podcast about judges being like, we need to talk about equity and inclusion, and we need to talk about what would happen and our biases. So, like, people are taking that into consideration when they're talking about sentencing. And people like Al Sharpton and Crump and some of these, like, old school race hustlers who have been in the game for a very long time, they're kind of stuck in this, like, 1996 vision of the world. They haven't updated their mental model that, like, literal murderers and rapists get released, like, early in a sentence anymore. They think it's still the 94 crime bill, and they just keep hitting the same points.
Yeah, for sure. All right, last clip of Urban, the San Francisco traffic laws. So this is a graph. San Francisco monthly penalty notices for driving infractions, meaning like the number of driving infractions that they're issuing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the graph, it looks like it went to 0, and Democrats would spin that and go, wow, traffic infractions are down big time. The streets are way safer. But it's only because they stopped enforcing the law and aren't giving traffic violations out to people anymore.
Yeah.
But that's how they do it with crime stats, with illegal immigration. They change the definition or they don't enforce the law and go, wow, illegal immigration's down.
There hasn't been an illegal arrested here in 12 months. And it's like, yeah, it's not because they're not there and not doing crimes.
And you look around and they're sleeping in the airport and
Yeah.
like taking over your towns in a different way than you've ever seen in 50 years.
Beating up a Macy's guy.
And they look you in the face and they go, oh, crime's down, looting's down. It's like, well, you're just not arresting anyone for looting anymore.
Yeah.
So same with this traffic thing. And also another note, which I think is the real reason behind this, when you pull people over for traffic violations, that's usually how you catch people with pre-existing warrants.
Of course.
And people who are wanted for something else, and then you bring them in because you got them on a speeding ticket, but then, hey, this guy's wanted for aggravated assault, and you bring him in.
Yeah, serial killer getting caught because their registration expired. You know?
Exactly. So them getting rid of the traffic violations, that's them saying, we don't want to catch any criminals by accident.
Yeah, it's going like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see it.
Exactly. But don't get too down or too depressed.
Because we have a couple goofy videos that...
Maybe there's a dog that brought a rat in the house.
Well,
don't
yeah.
get too down or too depressed.
Well, no, I think there's a part of it where obviously we're making complaints about policy and what America should be and how violent criminals should be handled. But then it's also important to remember that the reality is changing and you have to act a little differently these days, you know?
Exactly. All right, first clip of Uplifting Gold. Are you vaccinated, sir? This was funny. I think this guy's name's Ethan Schmidt on Instagram.
You vaccinated, sir? Huh? You vaccinated, sir? Twice. What
do you mean? He just goes, it's kind of like an Ed Bassmaster.
Yeah.
But political.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of those on his Instagram. It's pretty funny stuff.
All right, I like that.
All right, let's go to the dog who brings the rat in the house.
I don't like how you spoil these.
Yeah.
But I guess it's...
He's touching the mouth of the rat. So that's funny. That's uplifting.
That's uplifting. That counts. For us, I guess, the viewer, not for the guy who got the rat in the bed.
Yeah, and then touching it, and you see it's a rat, and you're touching its rat face. That's bad.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the girl. The girl. I don't want to spoil it.
Hey, really, what is that?
Well, Jesus died on the cross. It's a T.
It's a T. That's funny.
Yeah.
And it's good to see babies familiar with Jesus. That's uplifting. People are having kids still. We're not just getting replaced by people from Venezuela who
they're trying
home invade you.
Yeah, they're trying, but
and then this kid is driving his dad's truck.
I'm driving Dad's truck right now. He has to be pulling right now when I'm driving his truck. Isn't that cool, bro? Look, 3 miles per hour. Speed up. Dad's back there. I'm right here driving my left way. Turn right.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He's driving dad's truck. They're putting the hay on the ground for the cows to eat. They're working on a ranch. There's a truck. There's a kid. There's no criminals.
Kids can handle more responsibility than you think.
Yeah, that's good. It's the only place where kids learn anything, I think, anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the episode. It is Friday, so we do have some shout-outs. Happy birthday to Jennifer W. She's a bonus lander and in the Rat Chat. Her birthday was February 14th, and she has 4 base kids, and she's a great mom.
Wow.
Happy birthday to Brady from Minnesota. His birthday is on Saturday the 17th. Got a little surprise shout-out. You probably didn't think we'd be talking about you, Brady, but happy birthday. His wife and him are major show watchers, and they just had a baby in the summer.
Ooh.
And constantly have Fleccas Talks on in the house. Which
Lovely.
Very great and nice of them. Happy birthday to Lillian, who turns 11 on Sunday, February 18th. She watches all the clips that her dad lets her, and then this is her right here.
I was going to say, we're giving a lot of birthday shout-outs to young kids.
Well,
I wonder if they're watching the whole show.
The parents told me that they make sure the clips are appropriate, and then they show the kids part of the clips that are appropriate.
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs. This is her with the wooden spoon. I think we may have shouted them out before, so happy birthday to her.
Good.
They all watch. And last but not least, we have a newborn baby shout out. Look at this.
Now, Willa, we're about to watch the best new podcast of all time. It's Fleccas Talks. Are you paying attention? Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 144. Today on the show.
Wow. Newborn baby, the first thing they do is show them the podcast.
That's as fresh as they get.
That ain't nothing. And then there's a little bit of a doppel here. Someone had an HGTV fat fuck show.
Yeah.
And then they did it, they chopped him out and put him on the Fat Racist podcast background.
Perfect.
That's pretty good.
That's good shit.
Another episode in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasTalks.com is the website. to watch Bonus Land, which drops right now. 30-minute bonus episode. Join the community, join the family, join us and be friends.
Join or die.
Or else we're done. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday.